The celebrities are gossiping about drama amid Baldoni, right? They did this publicity stunt last night where they went on SNL and Ryan Reynolds made this silly joke, this really silly joke.
They know that they've completely lost.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds just got canceled by Hollywood in the most humiliating way possible. Once the golden couple of the industry, they're now being labeled as master manipulators who played everyone for fools.
The majority of people I'm reading are not okay that he went and joked about such a serious thing.
And if even their closest A-list friends are backing away, it's pretty clear their reign is officially over.
There's a hypocrisy and a fraudulence there that the public is picking up on. They weren't the first to do this. It was Blake Lively, it was Ryan Reynolds, this was their strategy, and now they kind of want to put the genie back in the bottle. But guess what? The genie does not want to go back in the bottle. The genie likes to be free, okay? And we're now all paying attention.
For years, these two mastered the art of making everyone believe they were the best thing to happen to Hollywood. Blake with her carefully curated, "I'm just a relatable girl who bakes" Instagram aesthetic, and Ryan with his walking meme factory persona.
Ryan Reynolds on the Enneagram is a psycho. That's what he is. He's just a psycho. His number is psycho.
But then reality struck, and it turns out that beneath the PR polish, they are just another problematic Hollywood couple who thought they were untouchable. Their biggest crime? Thinking they could get away with it. Their recent scandals prove otherwise.
He's just being his funny Deadpool self, guys. It's so ironic and it's so funny. He's like mocking the situation. And I do want to point out the homie Kevin Costner behind him.
And the memes, oh, the memes. The internet has completely dismantled their public personas. Blake's holier-than-thou feminist act gone. Ryan's self-aware comedian routine destroyed. Every clip from their SNL disaster, every cringeworthy interview, every hypocritical statement they've made over the years, it's all resurfacing to haunt them in the worst possible way.
And there were other people as well who didn't find it to be entertaining and were just sort of like, okay. And you could see that they didn't want to be inserted into, I guess, what you could now refer to his various Deadpool scenes.
Hollywood has turned its back on them. Studios don't want them. Brands are running away. Their fellow actors are embarrassed to be associated with them. Their own fans have abandoned them. And worst of all, the internet will never let them forget it.
With direct knowledge, tell TMZ, lots of the stars who attended the events on Sunday were confused as to why Blake and Ryan appeared on the show while they battled it out in court surrounding the movie It Ends With Us.
Let's start with the train wreck that is It Ends With Us, released in August 2024. This dumpster fire of a film was supposed to be the next big thing, considering it grossed a whopping $351 million worldwide on a $25 million budget. But instead of being remembered for its success, it's now forever tied to one of the messiest Hollywood legal battles in recent history. And guess what? It all circles back to Blake Lively and her desperate attempts to play the victim while simultaneously trying to control the narrative.
I told them that I wasn't in the best place. I told them that I was exhausted, that I haven't given myself time to recover.
Blake, ever the dramatic queen of victimhood, accused director Justin Baldoni of harassment, claiming he created a hostile work environment. She had all the sob stories ready, unwanted physical advances, inappropriate comments, you name it. If we believed her, she was enduring the worst on-set experience of all time. But funny how those accusations only surfaced after she realized her influence over the film wasn't as strong as she thought. Suspicious timing, don't you think?
Blake sensed she had a hit on her hands. And as soon as that happened, she took over. Complete control of that movie, brought in A-list producer, everybody else, and steamrolled the entire production.
And oh, how convenient. In December 2024, right before the holiday season, she rushed to the California Civil Rights Department to file a complaint, ensuring maximum media coverage. But Baldoni wasn't about to roll over and take the hit. Nope. He clapped back with a $400 million lawsuit against Blake, Ryan, and their entire PR team, accusing them of defamation, extortion, and straight up trying to hijack his movie.
Have a Deadpool. She kind of lost it and had to be meticulously controlling every piece of the movie, which was not her place to do.
Imagine being so desperate for power that you end up in a multi-million-dollar legal mess just because someone didn't let you take over a project. Now, as if their legal drama wasn't already laughable, These two geniuses thought it would be a great idea to mock the situation on live television.
You can just see he is not pleased. He just doesn't find it to be funny. He seems to be trying to look to see if he can catch Blake's face there, and he just didn't find it funny. He did not break character once. He just was like, okay. And there were other people as well who didn't find it to be entertaining.
Enter Saturday Night Liv's 50th anniversary in February 2025, where Ryan Reynolds decided to be the human embodiment of read the room failure. He made a joke about the legal dispute that, to absolutely no one's surprise, backfired spectacularly. Ryan, buddy, when your wife is drowning in accusations and lawsuits, maybe, just maybe, don't make jokes about it in front of millions of viewers.
For his sincerity, his ability to connect with people, regular people outside of the Hollywood bubble, people, women, many women who have actually survived sexual abuse, sexual harassment, whatever it is.
Hollywood, of course, did what it does best, drag them through the mud. The Hollywood Reporter released a cover story portraying their downfall, and Blake, being the ever-delusional drama queen, called it sexist and demeaning. Sure, Blake, it's always sexism when the media holds you accountable, but totally fine when you and your PR team manipulate every press outlet to paint Baldoni as the villain.
I think this was weird. I think this is weird to have Ryan Reynolds there, specifically when his ex's husband also
That's another thing,
is on that show. Also, to note that, yes, they've hosted before in 2009 and a couple other times.
And social media. Oh, social media ate them alive. Fans and critics flooded Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram, calling them out for their performative antics. The backlash wasn't just brutal, it was relentless. Hashtags like #CancelLivelyReynolds started trending, and let's just say people were not here for their woe is me narrative.
The movie threatened everybody, got involved, over-exaggerated complaints. And then when the movie was a hit, but she wasn't seen as a hit, she was seen as the problem, that's when everything went south.
Insiders from Hollywood also had some choice words about this mess. Apparently, many industry figures who once considered them untouchable are now keeping their distance. Some even suggested that the couple's mismanagement of this situation might have permanent consequences on their careers. I mean, we're talking about Hollywood, where people get blacklisted faster than you can say bad PR move.
Claimed Justin SH'd her while on the movie set. One source who was at 30 Rock for the taping tells us Blake and Ryan were the talk of the entire evening, and many people avoided them.
But the real kicker, the hypocrisy. Ryan Reynolds, the man who has built his entire career on playing the relatable funny guy, suddenly isn't so funny when the joke's on him and Blake, the woman who spent years cultivating an image of grace, professionalism, and I can do no wrong, is now being exposed for the manipulative mess she truly is. Turns out, Hollywood's sweethearts were just Hollywood's biggest frauds.
The celebrities are gossiping about drama amid Baldoni.
Asking why Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were even there.
They did this publicity stunt last night where they went on SNL, and Ryan Reynolds made this silly joke, this really silly joke.
Their professional lives are in freefall. Several upcoming projects have been shelved. Studios are distancing themselves, and endorsement deals are disappearing faster than Blake's credibility. Big brands don't like scandals, and these two have become radioactive. Their once loyal fan base is also vanishing. For the first time in their careers, their charm isn't enough to save them.
Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
And let's talk about Ryan for a second. This man built a brand off playing the cool, self-aware guy. The one who pretends he doesn't take Hollywood too seriously but is secretly desperate for its validation. But when multiple directors and co-stars refuse to work with you, that's when you know you're the problem.
She doesn't have a Deadpool. She kind of lost it and had to be meticulously controlling every piece of the movie.
Let's not forget that Tim Miller, the director of Deadpool, straight up walked away from the franchise because working with Ryan was a nightmare. TJ Miller, his Deadpool co-star, made it crystal clear he wouldn't work with Ryan again, not even for double the paycheck. When even the people who helped make you a box office king don't want to deal with you, that's a yikes moment.
I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation.
Then we have Blake's Golden Girl act crumbling before our eyes. This is the same woman who spent years crafting an image of the perfect Hollywood wife and mother, only to now be exposed as someone who throws tantrums when things don't go her way. Her entire narrative revolves around being a strong, independent actress who fights for what's right, but the second things get tough, she's suddenly the most depressed woman in Hollywood. Make it make sense.
Spot on, and wisely calling it out for what it is. And apparently now comfortable doing some more interviews, given that, Blake and Ryan are out there on one of the biggest stages, addressing, sort of alluding to it when they're trying to tell everyone to stop talking or stop defending themselves. They're allowed to go out on the red carpet and play like their brand is fun.
The bottom line, these two thought they were invincible. They believed their carefully curated personas and PR tactics would shield them from accountability forever. They banked on their likability to carry them through scandal after scandal. But the reality is, people are tired of their charming act. The legal battle, the media circus, the failed attempts at damage control. Everything is piling up, and there's no coming back from this level of disaster.
Used as to why Blake and Ryan appeared at the show while they battle it out in court with Baldoni over drama surrounding the movie. It ends with that.
They built their entire careers on being Hollywood's most likable couple. Blake, the relatable Pinterest mom who bakes cookies and dresses like a 1950s housewife, and Ryan, the self-aware, wisecracking husband who cracks jokes about everything. But here's the problem. When the industry turns against you, there isn't enough sarcasm in the world to save you. Hollywood has finally had enough of them, and the consequences are brutal.
People were sort of just noticing that Blake Lively was not the nicest person.
First up, their careers are taking a nosedive faster than a bad superhero sequel. Studios are running for the hills, refusing to touch anything with their names attached. Several upcoming projects involving Lively and Reynolds have been outright canceled or indefinitely put on hold. It's like every major studio collectively realized, wait, why are we still giving these two work?
Everybody in Blake Lively's camp was shopping around what they claimed to be HR complaints to various tabloids and publications, namely TMZ, Daily Mail, and the New York Post.
Lively was supposed to star in a high-profile HBO drama series, but guess what? Not happening anymore. The studio doesn't want her name anywhere near it because, shocker, they don't need the baggage of a walking lawsuit attached to their production. As for Reynolds, his Deadpool legacy might be in jeopardy, which says a lot because Marvel is desperate to squeeze money out of anything remotely successful. If Disney, the kings of we don't care about bad press, are hesitating, you know you've royally messed up.
It would have been wiser for them to take the mediation route, to settle, okay? To say, we cannot win this. But I can tell you that that's not exactly a planned route of escape for them anymore at this.
And let's not forget the endorsement deals disappearing faster than their credibility. Brands do not want to be associated with scandal, period. Lively's luxury lifestyle partnerships are gone, her collaborations with high-end fashion brands canceled, and even the non-controversial, mom-friendly sponsorships she are dropping her. Ryan isn't faring much better. His aviation gin campaign is quietly fading, and his supposed marketing genius is proving useless when no one wants to market him anymore. Turns out, companies don't really want a guy whose biggest headline is mocking his wife's sexual harassment lawsuit on national television.
So there was mediation, there was an idea of mediation, and both sides, your side and Blake's, shot it down. Were you open to mediating this, and the other side said no? Because I don't understand why this could and should end, but it has to be them, right?
And speaking of industry rejection, Hollywood itself is turning against them. Their fellow actors, who once pretended to like them because it was socially acceptable, are finally voicing disapproval. Insiders say many A-listers have outright distanced themselves from the couple. It's almost like their presence is considered radioactive at this point. Some of the biggest names in Hollywood have even unfollowed them on Instagram, which, in celebrity language, basically means, We don't know you anymore.
There's a lot of question and confusion and frustration due to what your wife's behavior was. The way your wife took over that movie was shameful. And never because he's a harasser. No, everything I'm gathering, the truth of this story, it seems to be Blake sensed she had a hit on her hand.
Even their own talent agencies are reportedly reconsidering their contracts. When your PR disaster is so massive that the people who profit from your success want nothing to do with you, that's when you know you're done. Agents are quietly advising studios to stay away from them because no one wants to risk being dragged into the mess they've created. It's not just about avoiding bad press. It's about avoiding lawsuits, lost money, and sheer embarrassment.
They didn't. They showed up to try to make light, to sort of poke fun and seem likable and see everything's cool, guys, right? No, that's why they attended. And everyone's still in shock over it, myself included.
And oh boy, the financial nightmare just keeps getting worse. The trial between Lively and Baldoni is set for March 2026, and if you think this case is just going to blow over, think again. The lawsuit is huge. This isn't some petty celebrity feud. Baldoni is coming for everything. He isn't just suing Lively, he's dragging Ryan Reynolds and their entire PR machine into this mess.
This is your first appearance to go out and about after all the drama to show up on Scarlett Johansson's husband's show. Colin Jost, her husband, a big deal, big head writer over at Saturday Night Live. Or anybody who had the guts to say, sit down, dragon, just something would have just kicked it up a notch to actually be, the Saturday Night Live we had expected to be. But no, it was very safe and it was very not funny.
Their legal fees alone are astronomical. Lawyers don't work for free, especially on a case of this magnitude. Court filings show both parties are racking up massive legal expenses, which means Lively and Reynolds are bleeding money at a rate they can't sustain. Sure, they're rich, but they aren't Oprah-level rich. If this drags on too long, it's going to hit their bank accounts hard.
I don't think anybody who's been accused of heinous, arguably what are crimes, is on vacation.
People close to them are already suggesting they may try to settle out of court, but that's not guaranteed. Baldoni has every reason to take this to trial. His case is strong, and he has a whole industry backing him. Meanwhile, Blake and Ryan are desperately trying to spin this mess into yet another sob story, but no one's buying it anymore. And speaking of people not buying their nonsense, their public image has been shattered beyond repair. These two built their brand on being likable and relatable, but guess what? The fans who once worshipped them have turned against them.
They're out there celebrating, making jokes, making light of it, which Justin Baldoni's legal team could absolutely use against them in Justin's defense.
Their social media engagement has plummeted. Blake Lively, once the queen of carefully staged Instagram posts, has seen a dramatic drop in followers. People are unfollowing her in droves because, surprise, they don't want to support someone who weaponizes false accusations for personal gain. Ryan isn't faring any better. His once adoring fans have realized that his funny, lovable guy persona.
I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation.
And let's talk about the absolute social media carnage. Hashtags like #CancelLivelyReynolds have taken over Twitter and Reddit, and the roasting has been merciless. Every move they make is picked apart, mocked, and turned into viral memes. If they try to defend themselves, boom, another meme. If they pretend nothing is happening, boom, another viral roast session. They cannot escape the internet's wrath.
Words that we heard were they were confused as to why they would be there and involved in this way.
They even tried damage control, releasing defensive statements to clarify things, but shockingly, their attempts have backfired spectacularly. Their PR statements come off as insincere, and why wouldn't they? When you've spent your entire career pretending to be Hollywood's most down-to-earth couple, then suddenly get exposed as the manipulative opportunists you really are, people aren't going to believe a word you say.
The victim is instead looking a lot more like Amber Heard. How did that work out?
Let's compare their spectacular downfall to past celebrity meltdowns. Take Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, a legal bloodbath where the public sided with Depp after actual evidence exposed Heard's manipulative antics. Lively tried to pull a Heard-level smear campaign against Justin Baldoni, but she forgot one tiny detail. She has zero credibility. Baldoni isn't some Hollywood creep hiding skeletons in his closet. He flipped the script, sued for $400 million, and exposed her lies. The result? Blake lost any chance of making a comeback with dignity.
Bad move. And honestly, to me, the lesson is A, be a good person. But B, if you're a Hollywood star or any sort of a public figure, would you just please take your licks in the press and shut up about it?
Then we have Ellen DeGeneres, another star whose sweet public image imploded under the weight of her toxic behavior. Sound familiar? Hollywood insiders once protected her, just like they did with Lively and Reynolds. But when the stories piled up, she was kicked to the curb. No more talk shows, no more industry respect, just memes about how awful she was behind the scenes. And of course, there's Will Smith's Oscar slap, an instant career killer. If one slap could get Smith blacklisted from the Academy, what do Blake and Ryan think will happen when their own peers are turning on them? Their repeated PR disasters, mockery of legal battles, and fake victim narratives are way worse than one impulsive slap.
Have real problems. They don't give two craps that you had a couple of negative articles written about you in the Daily Mail. And in her complaint, the thing she's bitching about is that this terrible PR campaign that was opened up against her hurt sales of her liquor brand and her hair care products.
The biggest difference between these scandals and the Reynolds Lively downfall? The others at least had some people on their side. Depp had a fan base. Ellen still had talk show money. Even Will Smith had some industry defenders. But Blake and Ryan? Everyone's watching them burn, and no one's throwing water.
Go do PR for the film. And she goes out in the summer, this past summer, and she had about 2 minutes of bad PR. The problem for Blake Lively, in my opinion, is that she does not improve upon acquaintance.
Now let's talk about their disaster-level crisis management. If there were an award for the worst PR handling of a scandal, these two would win every year for the next decade. The SNL joke was career suicide. Instead of staying low, Ryan decided to mock the lawsuit on live television. A bold move, considering that lawsuit is still very much happening. The optics? Horrific. The backlash? Immediate. It was so bad that even celebrities who disliked Justin Baldoni wanted nothing to do with Lively and Reynolds.
She was full of giggles and laughter and wanted to promote her liquor brand. Nothing says domestic violence like a bottle of tequila. What?
Compare that to how Robert Downey Jr. handled his past scandals. The man went to prison, came back, owned his mistakes, delivered solid work, and became Iron Man. What did Blake and Ryan do? Dug themselves deeper, made a joke out of a legal battle, and acted shocked when the industry turned on them. And let's not forget how the media shaped this disaster. The same outlets that once worshipped Lively and Reynolds flipped the script the moment the public turned against them. Tabloids aren't running puff pieces anymore. They're feasting on the downfall. It's actually impressive how quickly their reputation crumbled once the media decided they were no longer useful.
People at home who don't care about this woman at all are looking at her like, I don't like her. She seems like a bully. She seems like somebody who punches down to somebody who's only trying to do something nice for her.
At this point, Blake and Ryan need divine intervention to fix their careers. But let's humor them with some actual ways they could attempt a comeback. First, the classic Hollywood move, the forced public apology. The only way they'd even have a 1% chance of salvaging their careers is by groveling in front of cameras, giving an Oscar-worthy performance about how deeply sorry they are, and admitting they handled everything terribly. But here's the issue. Nobody will believe them. Their fake relatability act is already exposed, and the world knows they only care about damage control.
Words coming in from the celebrities at the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary, asking why Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were even there.
Next up, the classic philanthropy stunt. Celebrities love to plaster their names on random charities whenever their careers are tanking. Expect Lively to suddenly champion women's rights and Reynolds to pour money into a mental health organization, all in a transparent bid for sympathy. But the internet isn't fooled. People see through these hollow gestures faster than Ryan's career is sinking. Then there's media silence. If they were smart, they'd disappear for 2 years, let people forget their mess, and quietly attempt to come back. But knowing these attention-starved clowns, they won't resist the spotlight. They'll keep running their mouths, making things worse, and ensuring Hollywood keeps them blacklisted even longer.
Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds singing. It's just, this is gold for content creators, because there is this like dichotomy that exists between like Hollywood celebrities and then like content creators and podcasters.
The only real way they could recover? Actual, undeniable talent. If they somehow delivered performances so mind-blowing that people had no choice but to acknowledge them, they might have a chance. But here's the problem. Neither of them are good enough actors to pull that off. Reynolds has been playing the same sarcastic character for 15 years, and Blake? She peaked in Gossip Girl. Not exactly the acting range that will make the industry forget they ruined their own careers. Let's summarize. Blake and Ryan's fall from grace was entirely self-inflicted. They chose to play dirty, chose to mock serious issues, and chose to believe they were above consequences. Now they're getting exactly what they deserve.
Brightest person. And what you just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it. Just would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. Among the dumbest of people.
Their downfall started with a failed PR stunt, escalated into Hollywood disowning them, and now they're stuck in a $400 million legal disaster with no allies in sight. Their career prospects are dead, their endorsement deals are canceled, and the media they once manipulated has turned against them. And the worst part? Nobody is coming to save them. Even their former celebrity friends are ghosting them. They went from being Hollywood's golden couple to the industry's biggest embarrassment. This entire mess proves one thing: fame is fragile. No amount of quirky Instagram posts, self-aware tweets, or scripted late-night show banter can protect you when the world sees through your act. Reynolds and Lively spent years carefully curating their public image, and in just a few months, it completely collapsed.
Just when people thought Justin Baldoni was finally the bad guy, Blake Lively proved she will always be the bad guy. Justin Baldoni just released the piece of the puzzle that will destroy Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Colleen Hoover, Taylor Swift, the New York Times. He's killing 5 birds with 1 stone, and they're all getting exposed as liars.
At the end of the day, Hollywood doesn't cancel people for no reason. They cancel liars, manipulators, and frauds. Blake and Ryan check every box. They aren't victims, they aren't misunderstood. They are 2 people who played the system for years and finally got caught. And now, they're Hollywood history. Hollywood loves a downfall, and right now, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are giving everyone front row seats to theirs. Let's be honest, it's been a long time coming.